Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Houston Sports Talk back into the video today. And today I'm going to be talking about why Cam Whitmore was the steal of the 2023 NBA draft for the Houston Rockets. Before I start this video, I 100% believe that Cam Whitmore was the biggest steal of this draft. The Houston Rockets selected Cam Whitmore from Villanova with the 20th overall pick. And I'm very impressed with the Rockets did in this draft. They drafted Amen Thompson with the 4th overall pick, a guy who is a good scorer, good athletic finisher. He's a great defensive player, and it's just I think has a lot of potential talent in the NBA. The only thing that you have to worry about is his three-point shooting, which I really do think he is going to try to work on and try to improve. Now, before this, the Rockets were trying to decide. Now, the Rockets were pretty sure who they were going to draft. They were pretty sure they wanted to draft Amen Thompson, but they were trying to decide if that's who they for sure wanted, as they had some interest in drafting Cam Whitmore, had some interest in drafting Jarice Walker. Yeah, you heard that. They had interest in drafting Cam Whitmore at pick 4, a guy they got at pick 20. That right there, that should show you that, right there, that should show you that he's a huge steal. Right there. He was the guy who, I saw a couple mock drafts where people had him going 4 to us. I saw a couple mock drafts where people had him going 5 to the Pistons. Of course, I didn't see the Magic to 6 that often, because I don't think the Magic were a great fit for Cam Whitmore, just because of having Franz Wagner and Paulo Banchero. So I saw in mock drafts, I saw Cam Whitmore going to 6 to the Magic a couple of times, but not as much as I saw 7 to the Pacers, 5 to the Pistons, or 4 to the Rockets. Those were the most ones I saw. I saw 9 to the Jazz a couple times, and then that was really it. He was the guy that was expected to go, if not in the top 7, definitely the top 10. And multiple concerns, injury concern, medical concern with his knee, which the Rockets have one of the best medical staffs in the NBA. Rockets should be able to take care of that. He's healthy right now, so I think teams were just worried about some injuries he had in college in his freshman season, and not only that, but some bad workout, a bad workout or a bad interview or something like that worried teams, and Cam Whitmore just started to fall in this draft, which was very bad for him because he lost out on some money because you get more money the higher you're drafted. But honestly, in my opinion, I don't think it really matters, because I think he's going to be good enough to the point where he's going to be able to make some solid money in the NBA, especially with the Rockets. I think he fits with this team. They need three-point shooting. They need some good scoring. Yes, Jalen Green was a great scorer for us. Amen Thompson is going to provide some scoring. So is Jabari Smith and Alperen Sengun. We have all those young guys. We have these 5 amazing young players with Jalen, Amen, Alp, Jabari, and Cam Whitmore. Literally could be our starting 5 next season, which is very unrealistic to happen because the Rockets have $60 million in cap space to spend this year. So that probably won't be our starting 5 next season. But those, as of right now, that would be our starting 5. But the Rockets do have $60 million in free agency cap space to spend. So I would think the Rockets would maybe sign up a player that is starting worthy, as the Rockets are interested in guys like Fred VanVleet, James Harden. They're interested in guys like Fred VanVleet, James Harden, and Brook Lopez and Dylan Brooks. Those are the top 4 targets they have in free agency. So that's probably not going to be the starting lineup in free agency. That's probably not going to be the starting lineup for the Rockets, but that very well could be. And honestly, a starting lineup for the Rockets of Amen Thompson, Jalen Green, Cam Whitmore, Jabari Smith Jr., and Alperen Sengun, with guys like KPJ, Tari Eason, KJ Martin, Jayshawn Tate, and Usman Garuba off the bench, with Ime Udoka running that whole young team. I honestly could see being like a 12 to 10 seed in the Western Conference. I know that sounds crazy, but you have a good young scoring team with Amen, scorers like Amen, Jabari, Jalen, Sengun, and Whitmore. Off the bench, KPJ, KJ, Tari, Jay Sean. Good defense as well. And then Ime Udoka running that whole squad. I think the Rockets would be able to be a 13 to 11, maybe 10 seed in the Western Conference with just that roster right there, with Ime Udoka running that team. You got to think about this. The Rockets were the 15 seed last year, and so far, here's what they've done to improve their team. They've added in Ime Udoka, who I think Ime Udoka is going to change around a bit. He's going to make a big difference. I mean, you put. I'm gonna say this. I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. I mean, you put Ime Udoka on the Rockets. If you put Ime Udoka on the Rockets roster coaching, if you put him to coach the roster last year, if he was the coach for the Rockets last year, the Rockets probably win around 5 to 10 more games than they did. Because Steven Silas made horrible coaching decisions for the Houston Rockets. He didn't really have the players' respect either, in my opinion. And I think Ime Udoka is going to be a big game changer for the Rockets. And you add in guys like Cam Whitmore and Amen Thompson, that's another thing. But getting back to Cam Whitmore, as I was trying to go over the whole aspect of the team. But Cam Whitmore, he's a good three-point shooter. He is a good rebounder, as he averaged 16 and 7 at Villanova this year. And he's a good three-point shooter. Shot 35% at Villanova this year. Is something right there that the Rockets need drastically, is three-point shooting. And honestly, whether he comes off the bench or he starts with the Rockets, I think he's going to have a big impact to this team. Obviously, he was picked 20th overall, but this is a guy who was a top 7 to top 10 talent in the NBA draft. And I honestly do think that the Rockets got the steal of the draft right here. He's athletic in the paint. He's a monster in the paint. Whether it's getting putback finishes or it's just being a monster in the paint against defenders. And I honestly think Cam Whitmore is going to be the real deal. I can honestly see him being a star type player. He is viewed as a guy who is going to be in the draft. If you've seen it in scouting reports that scouts think this guy is one of the most prospects in this draft class that is most NBA ready for the NBA. And I really love to hear that kind of stuff right there. And I think he has a lot of potential talent for the Houston Rockets, and I'm really excited to see what he does for us. I do think he is the steal of the draft for the Houston Rockets. But you guys have your thoughts, and that's it for the video. If you guys enjoyed, peace out. Go Rockets.